So the unspoken word, which is only heard in the cosmos. So the unspoken word was first in the form of vibrations. When the whole of this world, along with the 7 other worlds, were created simultaneously by Devi, Adi Parashakti, the person who was nominated to stabilize the world and to control all the vibrations, which now I would like to use, the vibrations which were positive and negative. Negative was called as Asura, and the positive vibration was called as Deva. So all the Deva and the Asura vibrations were controlled in the whole of this, not only this world, Bhuloka, it was also in all the other worlds of Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka, Mahaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, including Manidvipa, including Patala Loka, including all other lokas created. The vibrations were one and the same. So Adi Parashakti, as Devi, she saw to it that all the lokas were created. She aligned all the other beings of all the other worlds to deal cosmically with these vibrations. In other words, she linked all other beings, including flora and fauna, including the flower as well as all animals, all the Jiva Rashis, they were synchronized systematically and energetically with all the Jiva Rashis, and she made all the Jiva Rashis to synchronize with the whole of her creations, including those people to be born in an anda. They have to be born through an egg. And that egg was called as cosmic egg. So whole cosmic egg was again put into one area, and that area was called as Brahmända. And those people who are linked with this Brahmända, right from an egg, from a fish egg, and so many creatures were all came from one anda called as an egg, and that egg was called as Brahmända. When that was minuscule, when that was completely energized, and the volume was just a fraction of that energy, minuscule. So the whole energy was minuscule. That is how an atom was also formed. So an atom creation was energized. By Adi Parashakti, the whole of this atom, energized atom, came into all our beings as human beings, as different sorts of beings. Those beings in water, those beings formed in air, those beings formed as worms in Mother Earth. All this bacteria was all formed in different regions of Mother Earth. That is why the whole of this Brahmända was there in all this creation. So whenever when a being is formed, that being is in one of these. So a being is formed from a cosmic egg. This cosmic egg can be in the air, can be in the form of vibrations, can be in the form in water, it can be in the form of a microbe, can be in the form of bacteria, it can be in the form of a ovum, it can be in the form of anything. So an energy is always created, and different forms of this energy is named in so many ways in our cosmic egg. So which came first? Is it the chicken or the egg? Question mark. I think all of you are intelligent to understand. I need not explain further on this matter. What came first? Is it the chicken or the egg? Even if you look at some kind of a vibration in the form of a cobweb, Jedara Bale in Kannada we call it, even in the situation in the air, that is also lot of microorganisms are there. That is why we periodically take out all the cobwebs in a room and we clean all our rooms as much as possible to that extent, so that none of these microorganisms exist. We make sure the microorganisms exist as far as the eye can perceive. But there are a lot of microorganisms which come from different sources in our atmosphere. And these microorganisms have to be brushed away or have to be vacuumed away. And even then, certain microorganisms get embedded inside our whole system in the form of dust, allergy, so many things come out of that. That is why we have to keep the house clean, secure. Why? Because all these microorganisms have a great impact on our life, personal life, as well as our spiritual life. That is why microorganisms play a lot of role in our spiritual life, because microorganisms have a greater impact on our life itself as microorganisms or organism. This creates a greater impact in our being. Okay. That is why nowadays in the atmosphere we have a lot of allergens, so much so that it creates our general well-being, and our well-being is directly proportional to our sadhana. Most of you will feel, in what way is it directly proportional? Microorganisms, microbes play a crucial role in our sadhana, because that doesn't give well-being to us. Microorganisms does not create a well-being in our life. That is why when microorganisms occupy us, occupy our body, occupy the air we breathe, occupy the water we consume, and all those foodstuffs what we consume, the microorganisms play a crucial role. Remember, anda, an egg, and then they talk about Brahmända. Then you talk about one Devi name, and that is called as Kushmanda. Here, what I am trying to emphasize is that word Kushmanda takes a greater impact. Kushmanda, as Devi Ma is inside and occupies all the microorganisms of our body. That is why a man is a thinking animal. But a man thinks, each of us think differently. Each one of us think differently when it comes to vibrations. That is why, even though we live in the same house, we in the same satsang, but still we think differently, we act differently, and we speak differently, and we mature differently. That is because of that factor called as Kushmanda. So the important thing is, in our life, Kushmanda is very important for all of us. What is Kushmanda? It is the name of a Divine Mother. And what does it mean? It means pumpkin. Like how a pumpkin has so many seeds, so many features in it. The pulp, the flesh, and so many things. So what is Kushmanda? Kumbhalakai. Yes, she is nothing but Kushmanda is nothing as the Hindu goddesses of alias Durga. She is nothing but Durga. And that is why the Bija mantra of goddesses Durga Kushmanda is Om Dhum Durgayai Namaha. That means the whole of the creations, that microscopic creation is in the form of Kushmanda. In a pumpkin, so much of energy, so much of things are there. That is why in Kushmanda, in the Hindu tradition, in a Grupravesha, in so many things, they give Kushmanda as Bali. Kushmanda also means this pumpkin is given as a cut and given as a Bali in all ground warming and ground warming ceremonies. That is why Kushmanda, why? Because when you cut it, because we don't cut animals, we cut this pumpkin. When we cut this pumpkin and leave it in all the four corners of the house during housewarming ceremony, then all that negative energy and all that microbes, all the micronutrients of microbes is cut off. Instead of giving something animal, we give that Kushmanda as Bali. That is why during Grupravesha, that is why it is called as the first energy, where from the bhumi where you get. So from this ground earth we get Kushmanda. So we cut this Kushmanda. It is nothing but pumpkin. Alright? This is very important for all of us to understand. Kushmanda. That is why she is called as Kushmanda. The first sacrificial offering you give to be vegetarian, you have to give Kushmanda. So all that in the four corners, as well as in where you have to do that pita, where you have to give that divine energy, and that pita, that place is called as Kushmanda. This is the sacred Pita where the whole sacrifice is given on this Mother Earth. You understand?
For more satsangs from Shri Nimishananda Guruji, subscribe to this channel. Click the bell button below to get notifications. Like and share the video and spread the divine message.